YouTube? It's your girl Kai and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a mother and daughter advice. Now, I'm going to be doing this because, you know, I read all your guys' comments. I comment on them. I like some of them. And one comment recently has struck out to me, and it was on my WAP video that I did with my mom. And it was, I believe, a subscriber named Tori Loke, and she was having problems with her daughter. Now, her daughter is 13 years old, and she says she's been in and out of her daughter's life, and it's just like the connection just not there. And she needs some help on and advice on to how to reestablish that connection and just get an overall better relationship with her daughter. So I decided to bring my mom along into this because, you know, I believe me and my mom have a great relationship, and she can like guide you on some way on to have established yourself as a mother to your daughter. And I believe I can help with what your daughter may be thinking and what she may be going through, and I can speak a little bit about it. So,
well, I think first and foremost, it's awesome that you felt the need to reach out to this woman in regards to her relationship with her child. I think that parents and their relationships with their kids nowadays is very important, especially with the way of the world. Not judging, not knocking anybody. I do think that it's not easy being a parent, especially I was a single parent of 3. So I definitely get it. But I think with parenting, basically, you just really have to, one, get to know your kids, get to know each one because there's a different personality. You definitely have to do a lot of praying. I did a lot of praying. I was brought up in a church, brought you guys up in a church. But I came from the school of hard knocks. I came from the old school, so I was reared where basically a child stays in a child's place and children are seen and not heard, and you know, it's do as I say. So I think along the way I had to learn how to change. You know, I grew. As a mom. I had each child in a different decade. I was young when I had my first one, and I think just as a woman and a mother, I grew. I worked a lot, so it was kind of hard to juggle sometimes. So in the beginning, I think I ruled with that iron fist that I was used to in the beginning, because I had to set boundaries and have structure. There had to be some kind of structure there because that's what I was used to. But I think that over the years with you guys, especially my youngest two, DJ and Kai, I learned how to parent by listening instead of just do as I say or it's what I say, and I didn't take it as, you know, disrespect.
Yeah, now not knocking any parents down, not knocking anybody's mother or father down, but sometimes when you have your own child, it's different from how you grew up. You have to teach them a different way because they're in a different setting. They're in a different environment.
It's a different. It's also a different generation.
Yeah, it's a very different generation. So some of your beliefs may not work well with the child's beliefs, so it's always better to listen to what your child has to say. Like if they say, "Mom, Dad, I don't feel comfortable with this. I don't feel like I got to do this." Listen to what they have to say. Let them explain themselves, and then you explain yourself, or you guys both compromise, because mother, like child and parent, it's all about compromise. At the end of the day, it is about compromise.
Well, not all of it.
Not all of it, but it is about compromise.
It is about a lot of compromising.
Because some things parents may not accept it, like some things kids do now that.
Well, I think that everybody has their own walk, so you have to learn some things too.
Well, most definitely. Yeah.
I think that, but everything doesn't have to be a learned situation.
It doesn't.
So
but
sometimes if a parent tells you something, it's best for you to listen, because me as a parent, I don't want to see my kids suffer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I can tell you something to stray you away from doing something that I know can be a catastrophe, sometimes it's cool if you have a child that'll listen. Now, if you have one that won't, because I've been through all of those experiences, it is kind of hard. But again, you have to just know the child. You have to also take into consideration their perception of certain things. So with this woman, which I think this is awesome, you're addressing this, what would you say to her regarding her 13-year-old daughter?
And like how to build their connection back. I think you need to be patient and be persistent in your pursuit, because right now I don't think she views you as a stable parent right now. I don't think she believes she can have that stability with you, because you said, from what I gathered in your comment, that you've been in and out of her life. She doesn't think like you're going to stay for the long haul. So it's kind of like,
so rebuild.
You're gonna have. It's like you're gonna have to start from the beginning, and you're gonna have to start like what she likes, what she does not like, what does she do, what does she do, what, like, you got to start there, because right now she doesn't view you as her parent. She may see you as a parent, but she doesn't see you as her parent. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but
no,
it's like,
I get what you're saying, but I think too, I think what you're saying is right on point. I think that she does need to rebuild that trust.
Yeah, she doesn't trust you right now.
I think that too, as a parent, because I did come from the school, the hard knocks, and an old school parenting, being reared that way. I think that you have to basically, instead of internalizing maybe some of her, actions as disrespect, because we can do that as parents sometimes, just kind of put on a different armor, and instead of being against her or just saying straight out, like, if you get upset because of something that she's saying, don't get defensive. We have to look at ourselves as well. We have to look at the things we've done to get where we are, and every family isn't perfect by any means. We've had our ups and downs in my family, me and my oldest daughter. So I'm just saying that sometimes you're not going to see eye to eye with that child. And you have to also stop beating yourself up. I mean, because if you couldn't be there in the beginning, we don't know your situation. Don't know what was going on. So, I mean, there are so many different dynamics going on here that could play a part in the way she feels and in the way you feel. You made a comment as well about the way you were raised. I get it, because I was raised a certain way. But again, as a mom, there was a lot of sacrifice, and I had to do a lot of changing as well as I grew up, because I learned that you can't parent all kids with the do as I say method, nor can you parent all children with the method of children should be seen and not heard. And that's a lot of how I grew up. So I think that, hey, we grow. We all grow up. We change. We make different mistakes as we go through life, but you learn as you go. And I think that that's where I've definitely grown, like as a mom, as a woman, and just had to learn how to deal with each of my children differently, because they're individuals too. You can't, they say all the time, it takes a village to raise a child. Yes, it does. But you can't be a village where you think all children are the same. So we can't say just because this child is acting out, we don't want to be part of that village. We can't raise that child, because yes, you can. You can raise them, but sometimes the village has to be, we can't be so rigid to whereas we can't understand that child and with the things they're going through. What do you think?
I mean,
because everyone has their own personality.
And your daughter, she's coming into her personality at that. Because at the age of 13, I know I was, because I was.
You have hormones.
Yeah, going on. I had, and we're girls. We got changes going on with our bodies. So right now, she's just trying to find her place.
There's confusion.
And where she's comfortable at. Like right now, she's trying to figure out, like, does she like this or does she not like this?
Right.
Because at this age, we still don't know what we like and what we don't like. We still don't know. Like, we know for some things, but we really don't have our own I don't know how to
switch.
Yeah, we
to
don't
really direct them.
we don't have our own awareness at that point.
Right.
We don't know how to when you get older, you
how to
learn
make the right decision.
Yeah, you don't.
And I think that's what parenting is about. It's a lot about guidance. It's a lot. I can be friend-like, but I'm not your friend. I'm your mother.
Yeah, and you always have to make sure there's a clear line between that. Because if she thinks you're like, oh, you're trying to be her friend, then she's not going to see you as her parent. She's going to see you like, oh, this is my friend.
Well, I think you can be friend-like with them, but you do have to establish those boundaries.
Yeah.
There are times when I will be friend-like, but I'm always your mother.
Yeah.
I'm always going to protect you. I'm always going to look out for you. I would give my life for all three of mine, no matter what the circumstance. I think that you really have to do a lot of listening. You really do. You learn that. You can't take a lot of things like, oh my God, they're being so disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
Right. You have to definitely have to have an open mind. And again, it's a lot of God. It's a lot of prayer. Again, I read The Power of a Praying Parent by Stormy O. Martin over the years. And I've also I'm on The Power of Praying for Your Adult Children by Stormy O. Martin. I think they're really good books. They have prayers in them that help you, and they also give the parents a sense of peace within when certain situations go on. So you definitely want to go to God or whatever higher being you go to, or meditate, or I think that when you feel yourself getting into a certain realm with your child, and it might become too combative, or where you feel like the disposition isn't what it should be between a parent and child, one of you have to back off. And sometimes it's best as the adult if we just back away and give it a moment, and sometimes I know as parents, our pride could be like, look, this is my kid, you're going to do what I say, you're going to, it's do as I say right now, and blah, blah, blah. We got to lose that attitude sometimes. I'm not saying that every situation calls for backing down, but I am saying sometimes you do have to do that. But I would just say show her a lot of love, show her a lot of patience, have patience, because you need it. That parenting doesn't come with a handbook. So I would just say love them, pray, or whatever it is that you do. If you're, you do something spiritually, or whomever you look at, or whatever release you need, I would say do that. Consult other elders, because sometimes they also might look at a situation and can give you an objective opinion on it, and you can go from there depending on what the situation is.
Really, sometimes I think you guys need to set apart. I think you should set some days where it's just you and her. No distractions, no nothing, just you and her. Because that's going to help in the long run, because it's going to make her appreciate it more. And it's going to make her think, okay, my mom is really trying. She wants to be a part of my life. She wants to know me at that. So it's going to put her in a where she's like, oh, okay, this is not just an in and out situation anymore. This is she's in it for the long run. She's here for me.
Right.
And I think she doesn't feel that. She doesn't feel it at all. And it may hurt to think that way. And I know it may hurt from a parent's point of view to think oh, my kid doesn't think
I love her, or
and it may think, but honest to God, it's not because she wants to think that way. It's because of what she sees.
And you have to understand too, she's 13.
Yeah, she's thinking 13. About boys too at this time as well. So
she's thinking about herself. So
that too. She's thinking about herself, and she's thinking about boys, and her friends and everybody else. Right.
There's so many factors that go on.
Yeah, there's so many.
Because sometimes you don't have a support system. I get that. And you feel like you're doing the best you can with what you have, and that's what we need to teach our children too. Sometimes, depending on what your circumstance or situation was, things go in a certain direction, and sometimes they have to understand that. It might be hard getting them to understand that, but I think it's important that in order for them to be able to grow as well, they have to understand where they come from, the lineage, the background, both families. Not to make it an excuse, but just understand sometimes, like me, I wasn't super strict, but I was strict.
She was.
My grandmother is 98 to this day. If you get out of line, what does she do, Kai? She will grab a 2x4 and she'll tell you, come here. You know, but that's the world she came from. That was her generation. That's how they ruled. They ruled with an iron hand. I wasn't like that deep with it, but
she wasn't. But at the same time, she was still strict. Like, there were certain things
because
you had to abide by.
Yeah, a lot of that was instilled within me. So I had to grow out of it and learn to listen to them. I had to learn to put myself back in their shoes. And see things from their eyes.
Now, not everything we do say is not necessarily the truth, but not necessarily a lie either. Not everything we mean at that moment. Like, sometimes we speak in the heat of moment.
Right.
Because we don't know no better. Because we're angry,
and
we're mad.
And parents do it too.
Yeah, parents do it too.
Parents do it too.
But at the end of the day,
when I've done it too,
it's all about communication at that as well. Like, just really like talk to her, have a deeper understanding of her, talk to her, get to know her,
and show her as much love as you can.
Yeah, I think that's the best solution to this case.
Eventually she'll open up.
She'll open up her heart to you.
Or she'll take it or leave it. I mean, you can't force something either.
You can't.
Just let it grow naturally and just see where it goes. And try to make everything that comes up, try to make things like a teachable moment.
Yeah.
You know, it's teachable for both of you, not just her or the child. It's just a teachable moment for both of us. We're all learning in this universe as we go.
Yeah.
Nobody's families are perfect.
Nobody is. Nobody is.
And people try to put the facade on like everything is perfect, everything is rosy. And that might be how they handle things, but no one's family is perfect. Everybody has their ups and downs, and just love each other, you know what I mean? But anyway, I hope this is beneficial. Miss Tori Loke, if you need anything, you're welcome to reach out to us, and we will try to help as best as we can. I think that's what it's about now. I think that people really do need people to talk to sometimes, and it's okay. It is okay.
And that goes for anybody in the comment sections who feel like they need some advice from me. Like, I would be happy to give you guys some advice if I know what to do in that situation. Yeah, because I won't say that I know everything, but I think I can help along the way. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Yeah, and hopefully we were of some help to somebody out there.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, it's all about loving each other and having support for one another.
So comment down below what you guys thought of this video. Please give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, come on, like, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends, families, and anybody else who you notice have these problems. Share it with them, because this may even actually help them somewhat and answer some of their questions.
Right.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
I hope you guys liked it. Thank you for coming at us and saying something. Praise be to God. God is the Most High, and you know, we just might be helping somebody. So
so
thank you.
Bye guys. Bye.